Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Fadillah from Science 3. Okay, in here I will review some series that I like the most of my life. It's called Mobile Suit Gundam's Iron Blooded Orphans. First of all, I will tell you what is Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphan is. Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphan is a Gundam series that tells you a story of some orphans that being a war slave. They must fight or they will get abandoned. They fight with a giant robot that called Gundam. Every day they fight for their life. It's really interesting because it's so different with another Gundam series. In here they are using brute force than a modern weapon like a beam gun or anything else. While I've previously expressed a general love or hate relationship with anything Gundam, Iron Blooded Orphans actually came as a pleasant surprise. I found it really engaging with watch, and I actually would really recommend it to anyone. Certainly, it has some rough edge, and I'll elaborate on this below, but it's a charming story with a group of characters that you can like, hate, flock at, cry for, and generally believe they are real people sometimes. They are clever and sometimes they are chat and sometimes they are just cute as well out of their depth. But the whole time you can see them as being very human, and that makes everything else in this show work. Firstly, Iron Blooded Orphan doesn't character jump anywhere near as much as some Gundam stories. Yes, there are definitely military, economic, and political faction, and we do see some character from each of these, but the primary and fairly constant focus on the Kaden, the company that Olga creates the main character, one of the main character. And while the usual anti-war themes and conflicting ideas about the use of weapons and violence get thrown around, they seem more integrated into the plot and less in the face political statement throughout this series. Probably because at no point do this character really get any other choice if they actually want to live, and the most of the members of the canon aren't really into musing about the why. They act because they have to. Another reason I really enjoy Iron Blooded Orphan is Arga's character. Protagonists in Gundam seem to fall into the categories of extremist, crybaby, or emotionless warrior, and while Mikazuki is certainly the latter of this description, Olga is quite an interesting individual, but the play between the two is also quite interesting and allow us to see a whole and well-developed persona, even if it is split between two characters. While some may question Olga's overall strategy, because at times it's questionable as to whether that is a strategy or not. And he certainly at times fills the role of extremist. He feels to me like he grows up so much from when he initially sees as the company to the final episode. The fight sequence seemed really content and focused. Yes, they were showcasing yet more robust and machine. But there weren't 3,000 side battle going in every instance, so you could see the conflict deal with the events and then move the plot forward. You got trying the story up for the whole episode, just showing up every single pilot special attack. And I know I'm exaggerating the situation, but sometimes it feels like battles are more in a story to show up the animation than to serve any particular plot purpose. The story doesn't feel needlessly rushed or drawn at any point. Certainly, there are parts where there could be more elaboration, and other parts, particularly the first period of morning, are slow paced. But it feels right for what is happening. At no point did I just want everything to slow down so I could process events or speed up so that we could get on with things. But speaking of character development, because he doesn't develop as a character, he's an interesting and he is a great pilot, but he moves exactly nowhere in terms of character development. From episode 1 to 75, his relationship with Olga stayed the same, as does his motivation through it. He never questioned what he does or why simply as Olga to direct him towards his next target. While this is what Olga needs at times, it does little help his own character growth. Then there's a little suspense in battles, who is going to win this fight from fairly early on. Other Gundam series actually allow the protagonist to get beaten and beaten badly early on during large-scale half-lives. Iron-Blooded Orphans seem to shy away from really inflicting pain upon their cast, possibly because of their age, but isn't Dog Child or Teen Soldier is a new concept the franchise. But then again, season 2 kind of tipped the scouts in totally the other direction. But that also led us on to the next issue with the how character deaths are foreshadowed. Seriously, the character will die in Battle as well, where they sign plaster to their foreheads as Clay's last line and promise are met directly before that fight. You just know they are going to their death, so it robs the moment of any real emotional drama that you may have experienced, and all of the deaths seem to simply serve as plot points, like part of the roadmap to the final destination. Occasionally, could a character be killed without warning and let us just deal with the senselessness of the death? Finally, I have not touched on the villain of the piece at all, or any of the schemes or counter schemes going on in the background, because there isn't really no way to explain any of that with any some major spoilers, so I'll just leave that too. I did, however, really not the mastermind by the end of series for no other reason that at least he planned ahead, and again, season 2 really undermines this impression so clearly rather well playing ahead. Despite this, I'm sticking by my recommendation for Iron-Blooded Orphans. It's not too dark and heavy, and it isn't high school student bouncing around and joining clubs. It does deal with human drama, but also offers some real action sequence. Thank you for this. Thank you for listening. See you around. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.